All right, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to evaluate a call, an audio call that I got from one of the businesses that I work with. Okay, so we're going to play this call and we'll stop and provide you some context along the way to help. So here we go.
Hi, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris. My name is Denise Martin, and I have 3 little kids, and I want to see about getting them into martial arts.
Oh, nice. All right.
The ages is 8, 7, and
So let's start out with the first part, right? I don't know if Chris was caught off guard by the sales call, like if it was routed through the CRM directly to his phone, which can happen. But the more you do sales and the more you have a script that you say all the time, the easier it is to flow right into it. Now, you might find yourself being one of those business owners that's like really good. You know, I can talk about my business, no problem. Got great rapport, I love sales, and that's great. But when you have a script, it's easy to slip into the same thing because it's relatively standardized. So if somebody comes up to me on the middle of the street and they're just like, hey, you own a gym? Like, yeah, I totally own a gym. It's freaking cool. And they're like, well, can you tell me about it? I would slip immediately into my sales conversation. It won't catch me off guard because my sales conversation starts with, well, why do you want to join? Because it's a digging conversation, right? I'm trying to determine the pain because the pain is the pitch. All right. So that's the first thing is I noticed that Chris seems a little caught off guard by her saying, hey, I have 3 kids and I want to see about getting them into martial arts. Let's hear more.
5.
8, 7, and 5. So we have our Little Dragons program, which is for 5, 6.
All right. So right away, Chris goes into what we call feature selling, right? So somebody calls you and says, hi, I want to join your gym. And you go, well, we have classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 a.m., 9 a.m. We have a shower. We have this, we have that, we have this, we have that, we have this, we have that. It's feature selling. When somebody goes to Home Depot to buy a drill, they don't want the drill. They want the hole that the drill makes or the screw that they're putting into the wall, right? And I know that that's used all the time, but it's really, really important, and it seems lost on many salespeople or people that don't realize they're in sales. And that is the pain is the pitch. So why? My first question back to her would be, why? Why are you looking to join? Okay, now this is not a sales video per se, but just a quick recap. You want to know what they're looking for. Why are they looking for it? What problem are they trying to solve? Okay, how long have they had this problem? What have they tried to solve this problem? Why has that failed? If you do nothing, what will happen? Okay. And each one of these questions has sub questions, right? So if they're like, well, I want to lose weight. You say, why do you want to lose weight? Well, the doctor told me I had to. Any other reason? Well, because I don't like the way I look in the mirror. Any other reason? Well, when I take family photos, I notice that I stand behind the rest of my family to hide my body. And I have bad self-confidence and I really want to feel confident again. Any other reason? Well, I'm married and I'm hoping that my spouse will feel attracted to me. Any other reason? Well, yeah, I prefer more energy. Any other reason? Well, when I get out of bed, my body kind of hurts. And I'm guessing it's because of the extra weight. All right, now they don't always volunteer this information, but the more and more and more you sell your service, the more and more and more you'll be able to anticipate the common problems that people associate with your service. So if you're in martial arts, it's going to be confidence and self-defense and maybe getting past some sort of attack or trauma. If you're in weight loss, it's going to be that confidence thing. If you're a chiropractor or physical therapist, it's going to be, issues with their back, issues with their neck. Maybe they work at a desk or they have arthritis in their hands or all. So you know the problems ahead of time and you're going to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig until you could figure out what those problems are because the pain is the pitch. Now, once you know what those problems are, why does she want her three kids to sign up for self-defense? Then you can go into the close. You can go right into the close because you are going to sell her the vacation. You're going to sell her the solution. Now, just another note, she said her name was Denise Martin. And you'll notice in this conversation that Chris never uses her name ever again, nor does he ask the name of her kids. And while the pain is the pitch, rapport wins wars. The 3 most powerful words in sales. And the better rapport you can have with Denise, the easier it will be to sell her because it's like a bartending trick. When you bartend and you're selling somebody drinks, the more they feel like they're your friend, the higher the tip they'll leave you at the end of the night. They'll almost feel bad if they don't leave you a good tip because they enjoyed the service that you gave them. So I would say, oh, Denise, do you mind if I call you Denise? My name's Chris. I've owned the gym for a couple of years now. I'm a father too. And I got 3 kids and I know how important martial arts is for me. It builds their confidence and their character. Listen, can you tell me, I'd love to know, why is martial arts important for your kids? Are you having any bullying issues? Do you have self-confidence issues? Is there a domestic situation where you want to make sure that they're safe? Do you guys live in a bad neighborhood? Do you work at, why? And what are your sons' names? How old are they? Oh, John, he's 7. That's cool. My son is also 7. What is John's interest in? Has John ever expressed? Has John, Peter, Paul, and Mary, have they ever expressed any interest in self-defense? Have they ever taken any martial arts before? How is their health and their nutrition? Are they active? Do they participate in team sports? This is going to allow me to get to know Denise and her family so that I can sell her family the solution to her problem. But unfortunately, in this call, Chris never develops a relationship with her, doesn't get to know her family, and is never able to sell the solution. He's only able to offer a list of things that he has available to basically everybody without taking that individualized and personalized approach. So I'm sorry, Chris, for beating up on you a little bit.
They meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So here he's just talking about what they offer. All right, so we're gonna skip this.
Martial arts for ages 8 on up. Minute sessions.
All right, so here he is talking about prices. What do you think the odds of her remembering all these numbers that he's throwing at her? This is too much, right? So she's got 3 kids. I'd say something like, listen, I would love to take care of your kids. Your 3 kids fall into 2 different programs. I have an idea of what the rates are, but because you're a mother and her 3 kids, and I know there's an extra cost burden, I'd love to come up with something special just for you. So now what I'm creating, I'm gonna work in towards with my close is scarcity and urgency. This is going to be just for you, Denise. And I'm going to offer it on this call because I know how important martial arts is, and I would really like to get you and your kids in. So you're going to have 2 options at the end of this call. You can say yes to a trial, or you can say yes to a membership, okay? But they're both going to be great offers, and they're only going to be available on this call. So that's my pitch to get them towards the close, right? Some version of that. So we're going to skip through all this right here. So we're going to get to this part right here where she says at 143, right? So she's going to say, what do I do? How do I get started?
All right, well, so what do I do to put an application?
So she wants to start. This would be a great time, Chris, to ask her for her credit card, right? Now, what instead Chris does with this giant paragraph right here is he talks about some good stuff in there, like why martial arts is important for him and, the different age groups, and that he wants to meet with them to get to know their goals. All great stuff, but not good at that juncture of the call because she says, well, what do I do? And that would be the part for him to go into the close and say, well, we got 2 options. We can sign them up for a membership. We can sign them up for a trial. A trial is $200 for 21 days. And at the end of that 21 days, if your family decides to stay with us, we'll give you that $200 back towards your membership as a credit or something like that. But that is the moment to go in for the close. And that's ultimately not what happens. So now we're just going to kind of cut through some of this here, but you get to this 4-minute mark and she says, okay, well, how much is the price again? Because she has forgotten, because she didn't write it down, because she's doing something, because this was a cold call, right? Instead of a booked appointment, which is why I always like to recommend booked appointments over cold calls. But this is a cold call, so that's what we're evaluating. So she forgets the prices, and then he's got to go through the prices again. And ultimately this becomes a discovery call instead of a close call. So everybody's using time, and Chris is using his valuable time on what's now become a window shopping call instead of one where he can actually get money from her. So she goes, let me put the numbers together, right? You see right here, 414, right? So I could skip forward here to where she's basically getting off the call, okay?
And that's a week, right?
Yep, and then you get 10% off as well.
Yep. And then you get 10% off as well. It's kind of throwaway comment because she doesn't even know what 10% is. Is it $100? Is it $4? She's not going to make that calculation in her mind in that moment. So the 10% is kind of a throwaway number. It doesn't even have any value to her yet.
Okay, well, let me put the numbers together, and I'll give you a call back to set up an appointment, okay?
That sounds great. And can you remind me your name one more time?
Okay, so 4 minutes into the call, he's asking her for her name again. Now, if I would be using that name, especially when I'm really good on my sales, because I'm far from perfect, but I'd be using her name throughout the entire conversation, as well as the names of her kids. And I would write them down and be making notes in my CRM. Spoke with Denise at this time and date. Last name is Martin. She's got 3 kids. This is their ages. This is what they're interested in. This is why they're interested. And I'm taking these notes the entire time I'm having this conversation. Now she wants out. She's like, all right, well, let me look at my numbers and I'll get back to you, which by the way means he'll never hear back from her. I mean, odds are he'll never hear back from her. But he says, okay, that's great. If you are losing that person, you're getting them off the phone, you're not going to close the deal on that call, that is a perfect opportunity to say, great. And what time on Monday should I call you? Or on Monday, I have an appointment at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Which one of those works for you? So just like you are closing the sale, you are now closing the appointment. We're not going to live in this world of ambiguity where we're, oh, I'll call you back by Monday. She won't. Something's going to come up. Something always comes up. So what you want to do is get them into an appointment. So it's in a calendar with appointment reminders where there is like a consistency in your outreach. Every salesperson's number one problem is a lack of follow-up. Okay, now that's getting them onto the call. Then when you're on the call, you've got other problems like not actually having a script, not digging for the pain, not building the rapport, not asking for the close, not overcoming the objections. But before that, it's the follow-up and getting them to actually schedule. And right here, he lets her off the call, doesn't have a very specific day and time that he will call her. He's going to wait for her to call him, and that's it. And there's no other follow-up. And so it leaves the ending unresolved. So that's my feedback on this call, 11 minutes. I hope there was some value in this. I hope you see how important it is to build rapport, to get to know the names, the whys, the hows, the whats, to ask for the closure, to build scarcity and urgency by saying this offer is only available on this call, and giving them a very specific offer. And that offer, again, sells the vacation. It solves their problem. It's not just a feature sell like, oh, I have martial arts classes Monday through Friday. Instead, it's, oh, this martial arts class will give your 7-year-old who's being bullied at school the confidence to speak up for himself or establish safe boundaries or speak to a teacher and not come home crying every day, because no parent wants that for their child, right? So that's what I got. And if you guys have any questions or anything else to add, feel free to send them to me, or depending on where I post this, add them in the comments. Later.